You're a real estate agent. You show up at the person's condominium or their house to sell. The question is, when you take the tour of the property to get to know the features and things like that, do you do that with or without the seller? I've had agents say to me, I don't want the seller with me. This thing will go way too slow. I kind of want to fly through the property. Well, I think this is an opportunity to build the relationship and get great insight from the people. That each room you think of a question that you can ask. Because this is a fact-finding, a discovery. It's not just what the colors are and the size of the rooms. This is an opportunity to ask questions that you're going to utilize later in the listing presentation. Again, too many agents I found have underestimated the value of the tour. So my encouragement is, yes, you take the tour. In fact, my opening phrase with home sellers who said, just go ahead and take the tour. We'll be down here. When you're ready, come back to get us. And I would say, no, you know what? I'd like to find out what capital improvements you've made or any issues about the property. So if you don't mind, can you give me the nickel tour? And you walk around with me so I can ask you a bunch of questions. So that's what my thought is on should we have tour or not? Should the seller go with us? It's probably about a 10 or 15 minute walk through in the property. And if you notice problems in the property, which is inevitable, there's something wrong, cracks in a wall, nail pops here and there, old carpeting, whatever it is, just notate those things. And I'd hold back recommending anything on the tour. Because what we want to do is wait till we sit down, because they could be shocked if they hear it in the wrong context. Let's get them to sit down, and we'll walk them through, only when we're sitting down, the news, the things that we are concerned about at the property. And I'll give you an example. When you're walking through the property and you look at all the bedroom carpets, they're all shag and they're all ugly colors. Do you say something right then and there, or do you ask the seller a question? Can I ask you this? Overall, the carpet's in okay shape. I'm curious. Is this the carpet that was in the house when you bought the property, or are you going to be changing it? You walk in the room and go, are you going to be changing anything out in here? Again, you're standing on green shag carpet. We don't specifically have to say, are you changing up the carpet? We can just say, is this the way the house is going to be, or are you going to change anything out? As you go into the bathrooms, the wallpapers are peeling. And the vinyl floor is peeling away from the tub area, whatever it is. Old, the cabinets are old. Just walk in the room, is this how it's going to be? Are you looking to make any changes? And they may say to you, well, Brian, what do you think? Let me finish the tour with you. And when we get done, I'm going to show you the priorities, things that have high rate of return on an investment. Because I don't want you to do is invest money in things with low rates of return. Is that fair enough? Can I set that aside? Well, if you were with that agent and they said that, wouldn't you appreciate they didn't just give you a laundry list of things you're supposed to do? So even though you know these things really need to be done, they may not be receptive. I remember specifically being on a listing with a single gentleman, and that house was horrible. And he had a fireplace out back on his patio, and the bricks were falling apart. He had the old masonite siding that was absorbing water, and it was starting to bubble, and it went downhill from there. And I started making recommendations to him on the tour, and I could see him getting a little irritated. He already knew about the problems with his property, but he's just the kind of guy who had deferred maintenance and it wasn't important to him. And I could see I made him uncomfortable, which was a mistake on my part. And what I've learned over all those years of interviewing, becoming a master interviewer, don't tell people bad news when they're standing up, for one. Don't tell them at a kitchen table or a dining room table where it's a confrontational situation where they're sitting across from me. They got to be elbow to elbow to me. When I'm telling somebody bad news. Years ago, I had, sometime back, I had surgery, and it was something really not good in my life. And one of these physicians, actually, I was in the stool, he pulled the stool up right next to me. We were locked knee to knee. He put his arm under my elbow and put his other arm on my shoulder. He told me the news, and it wasn't good news. And his bedside manner was fantastic. I had another physician who, when he had to tell me some news, he literally stood there with about 3 other people in the room, leaned back against some cabinets while I was sitting in a chair, and told me what's going to happen and what the side effects are going to be. Didn't touch me, didn't come close to me, was not very compassionate. He lost the opportunity, certainly, to understand where I was emotionally, because it was pretty bad news at the time. Now, when we look at sellers and we look at opportunities like the tour, I really see this as a way to build a relationship and not be in such a hurry because we are so productive. We got to get on to a new business and find a new relationship. I want to sell this property fast, and I want to get referrals from this person. And you know the saying, they don't really know how much they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And agents, if we're in a really big hurry because doggone it, our time's worth a lot of money, to say, well, don't you want more referrals? One way to get that is to take our time in this process. We can stop prospecting if we do better care of the existing clients that we have. Okay, thanks for watching.